Okay, in this video, we're going to continue and we're going to create the class for, I'm going to switch over to the assignment here. We're going to do step 10, creating the class file which contains all of the database access methods. So, let's go back to our Visual Studio application. And one of the things that we can start doing now more often is actually checking to see if we have any runtime errors because we have code. And so we can do that. We can do that by clicking the Start button here. And it opened up in my other. So this is how it comes up. And we see that the form is executing, and the submit button doesn't work, of course, because there's no code behind it. But we see that it is in fact running fine with no errors. So let's close that, and we can close this. And so let's begin by entering in a new class file. Left click, click Add Class, and I'm going to name it WPCDB for database. So we start by entering the using for accessing the SQL client system commands. Okay. And then we're going to make this class public static. And then let's begin by entering the method for connecting to the database. So that would be public static SQL connection. And then we're going to call that get connection. And we're going to start by defining a string that contains the connection string to the actual database itself. And I'm going to put that in those quotes there. And let me show you now what to name it. We're going to name it constr for connection string. And so let's see how we can find the connection string. Just click on Server Explorer here on the left. We need to connect to the database. You can click that. And it should open. Sometimes it fails the first time. Just click and try again, even though it says you got an error. Now we can click on Properties over here on the right. And here's the connection string. So I'm just going to click there and do copy. And then I'm going to come back here and click in there and do a paste. Now we've got to do something with these quotes inside quotes here. So I think what I'm going to do is get rid of these. And I'm going to put a @ sign in front. So it is exactly, so this is my connection string. And next I'm going to actually call the method, call it con new SQL connection str, and you return the connection. Oops. Okay, next, let's add the method that will be used to insert an employee into the database. So I'm going to call that public static. I'm going to name it, it's not going to have a return, so I'm going to call it add employee. And then I need the input parameters, which will include first name, last name, department, phone, and email. And then I can define the actual insert statement like this. And it's going to be, let's see, insert into the table employee, and the fields are first name, last name, department, phone, and email. And the values are, and this is where we use the parameter convention here of SQL. Assign first name, last name, department, phone, and email. And quote, parentheses, no, that's not it. Okay. And then I can use our getConnection method that we just created. And then I can execute the command. No, create the command first. And go. And here, I need to create the command. Now I need to fill in the parameters here. I need to fill these in. The way I do that is cmd parameters dot add with value. This is this. And I need to do this for all of these. So I'll speed this up. And then when I'm done entering in, setting all the parameters, I can actually try to execute this. Execute on query. And followed by there's an error. Exception. And that takes care of adding an employee. And now we're going to add one more, which is getting the employees. And that's going to return a list, a record set. So we start with public static list parentheses employee, an object that we created. Get employee, give the name of the method, and we start out with list employee list. Let's call it. This new list employee. And then use our SQL connection again. Select statement. All the fields from the employee table, and let's order this by last name followed by first name. And that's our select statement. And we can define the command now. And let's try that. There's a record. Get an object. And then start setting the properties. Sure. And then we do the first name. String. Let's do the last name. And we need to do it for the rest of them, so I will speed it up here. And finally, we add the new object to the list itself. And And that takes care of that. And when we're done with the while loop, we can close the reader. And, oops. And then we can do the catch what happens if there's an error. And we need to return the employee list. And now I'm going to actually try to execute this to see if it works. So let me just try this to see if we have any errors. Let's start this up. And we see that the form works. It displays properly. There were no runtime errors. We're still running. Nothing will happen though yet if we enter anything and click submit, because we haven't defined the event handler for clicking the submit button. Just as we haven't defined the form load handler for reading what is currently in the database. So we shall do that next time.